Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we need to tick forward a day here and get our Argo upgrade finished.
Hey boss,
Fantastic.
completed those upgrades.
And let's hop into engineering and get our second mech bay online.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit.
Excellent.
We'll get it done.
How long until that's going to be done? 10 days. I don't think we tick forward quite that long, but we'll tick forward the 6th to get the Javelin online. So that will take the financial report. And that's okay. We have plenty of cash. No worries on the cash front right now. We will have worries eventually, but for now we're doing okay. There's the Javelin back. Okay, so let's hop into the mech bay here, and yeah, if we deploy the Stinger, we'll be okay to go. Unfortunately, the Stinger has basically no armor. Or weapons. It's a 20-tonner. It's, not good. But it's better than nothing, theoretically. Let's hop into our barracks and see if anybody needs training here. And that is a negative. Okay, so let's see what's available for missions. We want something fairly simple here. Ooh, this one looks interesting. It's 1 skull, 523, 687 KC bills. However, we might be able to get a double priority salvage from this recovery mission. Yes, indeed we can. And I think we'll do that instead. So we'll bring our stealth, we'll bring our javelin, we'll bring our stinger, much as I don't really want to. And who was in the stealth previously? That was Coldfire. Okay, what about the javelin? That was Savarok? Yeah, that was Savarok. Okay, and then in the Stinger, we don't have anybody with any Stinger affinities, so maybe we should go for... Wow, Rain has a lot of traits. That's a whole lot of traits. And a whole lot of upkeep. Huh. Fascinating. That is a lot of traits. Well, I didn't notice that previously, but let's go ahead and deploy this as is. And in theory, we should be able to pull this off without any real danger. I mean, there's some of these mechs that still need refits, right? But it'll be fine, I think. I hope. I mean, the Centurion definitely needs a refit, but I'd like to have a little bit more equipment before we do that. We don't have laser hardpoints on the Centurion, so those heavy lasers that we got last episode, not going to be particularly useful on there. However, we might be able to cram those into the Ghost. It would be amazing if we got another MRM-20 and managed to put that and the heavy lasers onto the Ghost. That would be probably running really hot, but we need to retrieve the SLDF technology and escape. Our operatives on Outreach discovered a functional piece of SLDF technology, but before they could deliver it to us, they were captured by local government forces. We need a team to assault the location they're being held, recover the technology, and escape. I'm guessing the technology is some broken piece of scrap, but Comstar is willing to pay to recover it. We go in and get out before they even know what hit them.
Command interface initiated.
Okay, so we're starting pretty close to the recovery point. Okay, they are in between us and the recovery point. This is the map edge here. So I think ultimately we're going to deploy over here and just see what happens. I guess here's fine for the harasser.
Hey,
So where are the enemies at?
swimming anyone? I think I just stepped in some shit. I like it here. It's
Ah, a helicopter.
lush.
Another helicopter. Okay, those mines are not particularly threatening. Vaguely annoying, but not particularly threatening. Of course, this is round 1 where there are no sensors. Just period. End of story.
Ready for orders.
The Stinger could move perhaps over here. And we'll check our hit odds. I don't expect them to be high. 14.7, 6.5. Yeah, we'll give this a go, but I don't expect much out of this. Yep, that's a whole lot of nothing.
That didn't hit.
No, of course it didn't. Why would you expect it to hit? We're going to move the Javelin up to here and face like that.
Moving fast.
Get eyes on a Commando. 19.3 and 12.5. Okay, we'll fire on the Sprint. And we did manage to get 10 damage into it. On a Sprint, that's actually a lot. Like, that's 10% of the armor.
Waiting on you, Commander.
The Stealth is going to move up to here.
No sweat.
We're going to continue firing on that Sprint. It looks like it is out of ammo, but I don't want to risk that that's just a jam of some type. That's another 10%. Okay, the Commando moves, and I did see another mech. That was quite a lot of hits.
Minor damage, Commander. Nothing to see here.
No, I didn't see another mech. It must have just been the Sprint looking kind of weird out of the corner of my eye. Okay, the Harasser is going to move on up.
Got it.
And we'll see what our hit odds are like. Sprint it is. Man, we keep hitting it with only one missile.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. We're going to move up with our Centurion here. And Swarm LRMs aren't useful here. Do we fire the AC-20 on 20% hit odds? We have 10 shots. I think it's okay.
Copy that.
Yeah, we hit nothing.
Targeting systems.
Next round should be much easier to hit. Okay, so they do have something else out there. Fascinating. Okay, the Sprint will move next to this Sprint, and we'll see where it goes. Ah, over here, a King Scorpion. Wonder what that has as armament. So we get sensor rolls this round. We do want to take out this Sprint. It is their ECM wielder. The Commando moves and does not fire. We're going to place the Javelin here. And from here, I do want to see... It's got one ballistic weapon. The other appears to have no ammo. Okay. Light up this Sprint. Wow. We're getting really, really bad rolls on that. That was 42% per missile there. It's an Ultra AC-5 in the King Scorpion, looks like. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to move up with our Stinger here.
Locking in coordinates.
And we'll fire on... definitely this Sprint.
Here it comes.
Well, that was a quarter of the Sprint's armor gone right there. At least in theory.
Standing by.
The Harasser is going to move up to here.
Aye, aye.
And we'll check to see what our hit odds are like. Definitely got to go for the Sprint. Hit odds are low, though. 2 hits. Okay. That'll be fine. The Stealth will move on up. Ooh, much better hit odds. We did get some internal damage, and that is a vehicle destruction.
Yep.
Okay, the Centurion is going to position over here to avoid the mines. And I think, what are our hit odds like? 9.2? 11.3 on the King Scorpion. We'll just fire on the Sprint. Odds are low, but we'll see. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. I'm not shocked by this.
Damn it, I missed.
King Scorpion moves up, that UAC-5, firing on the Harasser. Getting one hit in there does hurt a lot. Okay, so that is the right side that we'll need to protect.
Waiting on you, Commander.
The Stealth is going to close in over here. And we'll see what our hit odds are like. King Scorpion, it is.
Commencing Alpha Strike.
Pretty decent hits there. Now, this Sprint doesn't have weapons. It's just using its ECM.
Ready to get it on.
The Stinger, I think, is going to... We can't move out of the ECM, so we're just going to move over to here
Let's move.
and fire on this Sprint.
Acknowledge.
And get 2 damage in there. Phase 17, the commando moves. It may take out the harasser. We'll see. And that is indeed what it does. Not too shocking.
Orders.
And also not the end of the world. Even if we end up having the harasser be irreparable, which I don't think it will be, in all honesty. The javelin will move up to here. And just checking hit odds, the King Scorpion is the one to hit. Okay. It is now panicked. The Centurion is going to move up to here.
Got it.
I would sure like to have a better sensor roll than this. Indeed. Well, we'll roll the hit odds. But they're not good. Indeed. Not shocking.
I missed?
You did, because you had a terrible sensor roll. That's not the only reason, to be clear. They missed the stinger twice there. That's very, very good. Phase 22, the sprint is going to move again. Okay. It's actually a C3, not an ECM.
Waiting for orders.
The Javelin is, at this point, going to move around and strike this commando in the rear arc if we can. This is likely going to be a miss, but we'll see.
Attack.
Oh, we did actually hit the melee. That's huge. That is absolutely enormous there.
Something good.
Okay, the commando moves immediately, which is a little unfortunate there. Goes for the stinger, gets in 2 hits. Not too bad.
Yes,
The stinger is going to make its way up to here,
Aye, aye.
and we're just going to check our hit odds. 42. Okay. We'll go for the sprint, but I'm not super happy about it.
Roger.
Only 2 more damage there. Sad.
I hear ya.
The stealth is going to move up here, and we're going to look to finish off that commando.
Coordinates received.
We did miss our melee. That's not shocking.
Hey, stay in the crosshairs.
But that's also a dead commando. Perfect.
Gotcha.
Okay, so at this point, the King Scorpion moves, focusing that stinger, but it's continuing to miss. Good.
Yeah?
Our Centurion is going to close in,
Roger.
and we will fire on that sprint. Hit odds are low.
Eat it.
We got a single LRM in there. Okay. The sprint backs off.
Yes, Commander.
Our Javelin is, I think, going to go for the King Scorpion here. We're going to go for the rear arc melee attack.
On my way.
Fantastic. We did miss the melee,
Negative damage.
but we hit with a lot of those SRMs. Unfortunately, in this, well, we kind of spread out our damage a little bit.
Commander.
The Stinger is going to come in to here, I think.
Move order.
We're going to rear arc fire on this King Scorpion.
Firing a full salvo.
That's a solid hit. Excellent.
What can I do?
The stealth is going to come in here and rear arc melee the King Scorpion.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
We missed again. Oof. Not getting the greatest of rolls here, but that's fine.
Another
The
shot.
King Scorpion is still dead. Now, I don't believe that the Harasser will be irreparable, but we'll see. We're going to move up with our Centurion here and do what we can on this sprint.
Roger.
Oh, we actually hit it with the AC-20 there. It's fully dead. Fantastic.
And stay down.
Okay, we have exited combat now, and we'll just move up here and grab the target zone.
I copy.
In terms of salvage, we're not going to get too much, in all honesty, but we also didn't take all that much damage.
And is ready for retrieval.
So that's fantastic. That was definitely a milk run. 2 helicopters. I mean, we can get some pretty decent scrap values for those. That said, there has been some scrap value adjustments recently. The Javelin took some damage, but nothing that we can't put back on super easily. They want these parts, and honestly, I feel like I'm okay with that. We'll take the rep. An ER medium laser, yeah, that's fine. The Ultra AC5, yes please. A bunch of Engine Core 140s that I think will roulette. An Artemis 4 FCS, I like that. 2 tons of safed UAC-5 ammo. That's a big deal there. And a half ton of Streak SRM or a ton of Artemis 4 SRM ammo. And that's what we're going to take. Excellent. Let's go through this and see what we got. We got an SRM-6. We'll keep that around. We got a case. We have multiple of those. We got a basic cockpit. Pass on that. An engine core 140. We'll keep that around since we don't have one in stock. An internal combustion engine. Pass on that. A standard FCS. Those are easy to come by. Ferrofibrous armor, we do have one, we'll keep another. A standard heatsink, a standard fusion engine, 3 generic structures. We did get the other half ton of Artemis 4 SRM ammo. We also got the half ton of Streak SRM ammo. Very nice. That was pretty decent salvage, actually. 3 King Scorpion parts and a Sprint part that we can probably scrap eventually anyway. I don't think we'll ever utilize those. We'll see. The real question is, was the Harasser permanently destroyed? If it wasn't, it instantly gets repaired, to be clear. But the permanent destruction is a relatively high risk for those vehicles, which is why I've phased out the usage of them, except for when we just happen to have one. But I don't think that that was enough overkill, to be clear. We'll see. Do it. Yeah, not enough overkill. Fantastic. So we're going to tick forward for the time that it will take to repair. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll get our second mech bay online right now, which of course isn't exactly helpful at this exact moment, but it will be helpful later on. We want to work towards getting this third mech bay online as soon as we can. So that requires improved power conduits and structural reinforcement. So structural reinforcement is this one, which requires structural repair. We'll go ahead and do structural repair, I think, but we also need improved power conduits, which does give us a morale and a tech point. So we'll go ahead and do that. Fantastic. So we'll tick forward for another 3 days here for our mongoose to come back. We're not going to purchase a Solaris 7 license right now. Excellent. So let's hop into the mech bay and see if there's anything that needs attention. There is not. Okay. Now, I wouldn't necessarily mind perhaps refitting the stealth. It does have these jump jets. We could free up some tonnage. It has 2 laser hardpoints. Fascinating. How heavy is the MRM-20? That's 7 tons. I think that's going to be a little much for right now, and we do have good armor on here, so that's okay. I want to maybe take a look at... Actually, none of these. Well, maybe the Centurion. You can stop spinning, Mr. Centurion. So, yeah. I feel like this needs work. Is this an external free heatsink? Yeah, these 2 are free heatsinks. Okay. I'm thinking about swapping the AC-20 for the Ultra AC-5. It'll save us some weight, and it won't have all of our eggs in the same basket. So if we dismount that, we then mount the Ultra AC-5 here. We have multiple tons of safed UAC-5 ammo, and this is 12 shots. The Ultra autocannon can fire twice, if it jams, so that will only do 10 less damage than the AC-20, assuming that both hit. And this is essentially 6 turns of ammo, so we get 2 extra turns of ammo doing this, and we have 5 extra tons to work with. I'm going to move the LRM ammo down into this leg where it's slightly safer. And then we're going to max out this armor. Now that's going to take quite a lot of time. I'm also thinking about potentially... We don't have any MRM ammo. I'm thinking about potentially dropping the LRM-10. I feel like it's a little bit underwhelming, and maybe just putting on the SRM-6. So we do something like this. That gives us a little bit more tonnage. We can put in a 1.5 tons Oh, right, it does require an Artemis 4 before we can put it in. I was planning on putting an Artemis 4 in here, to be fair. So we put the Artemis 4 in there, like that. And then we put the SRM Artemis 4 in down here. And then a half ton as well. So that gives us, what, 150 shots? Yeah, divided by 6. Sure. And we have 2 tons to work with here. So what do we want to do with these extra 2 tons? That is a question, isn't it? Like, what could we even put in here? I suppose we could put in a light tag. And now we still have 1.5 tons to work with. I don't think we have an upgraded engine. We could give this guy stealth armor. I don't think that's going to be super helpful. Yeah, it requires ECM. We could give this some form of ECM. C3 Masters, what exactly do those do? Enemies receive 3 sensor ping and 30% visibility signature. Allies receive 9% sensors and 6% sight distance within 270 meters. Does that require a C3 unit to use? I think it does. Okay. We do have basic sensors on this. I was hoping that we had an ECM on hand. But yeah, we don't really have much for engine cores right now. So that's not super helpful. So what do we want to do with this 1.5 tons that we've got? I mean, ideal scenario, we slot in this heavy laser, right? That would be great. But unfortunately, that's not an option. We are at full heat efficiency. Like, this Alpha Strike has no heat issues. So that's not a thing. I would think about upgrading to the MRM-20 if we had ammo for it. We don't. We could put in the Clan Ferrofibrous armor. A Spendy. That frees up 3 tons. I suppose we could put in a mask. But I kind of don't like it. I kind of don't like it at all. I do like the fact that this is dramatically better armored. Like, that's a big, big change. So that's good. We've already got a basic cockpit in here. So no point in doing that. What do we want to do with this extra 1.5 tons? I suppose what we could do is we could move these into here, encase them, or perhaps into the arm to make the explosion slightly less damaging. Oh, we can't add case to the arm. Never mind, we'll put it in the torso. And we still have 1 ton to work with. We could just slot in a heatsink and call it good, even though we're really overkill on our heatsinks. But I feel like we just don't have anything else to do with it. So we'll just go ahead and do that for now. Now that's going to be 18 days of the Centurion not being deployable. We are going to deploy, rather than wait for that. However, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to deploy without the Centurion, and we're going to deploy, hopefully, something fairly simple that we can just make ourselves a little bit of money and wait for the Centurion and the improved power conduits. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.